The foggy clock. I'm sure a lot of you are tempted to order the $15 piece of glass replacement. So basically this gets foggy because this piece of glass or plastic is not UV resistant. So all the other things in the dash are nice and clear and the clock is all foggy. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go through what you need to do to change that glass, because buying it's quite simple, but changing it might not be as simple as you think. So first you get it out of the dash. Now basically this is what holds it into the dash. There's two little bolts back here. So you'll feel around, you move the 4 screws, you pull the wood out a little, and you'll feel these 2 screws back here. You take those off and you'll be able to pull the clock out. You'll have to unhook the connector over here. Now once you have the clock out, basically on the back over here there's going to be 4 little nuts. I believe the size of these would be like a 440. I used some small pliers and just loosened them and then took them off with my finger. So there's 1, 2, and 3 of those. Then what you need to do is pry this piece of plastic loose. Now just using, and I'm not a watchmaker, I'm not a clock maker or anything like that, but I just used a little bit of pressure slowly. I didn't want to scratch anything or damage it, and eventually it popped out. So I started with the screwdrivers, but it didn't seem to be doing anything. I just kind of pressured and pushed, and then it came loose. So then from there you can actually pull the whole mechanism out. So I'll put this aside. So now we have the clock mechanism. Now the thing is, this hand that we use to adjust the time actually goes right through that piece of glass. So it's not as simple as just pulling it out and putting the new glass in. You have to take this off. So the important thing to remember is the tip of this doesn't come off. It's really this gear that's gonna pop off. I don't know if you can see it that well. This gear is going to slide off. Let's try it one more time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these here, lean against there, and then I'm going to use this to pry against that. Gingerly, I'm pulling on the other one and resting against the other one, and voila! So now that came out. Whoa! Keep your eye on the spring. So good news, I swept the floor and I found the gear and the spring. So be careful, make sure you have a clean area, because if they go flying you'll be able to catch them again. So here's the actual front of the clock. There's 2 screws here that hold this on. I'm not going to take it further apart. This is very clean. There's no need to take this apart. Everything's nice and clean in here. So what we'll do now is we'll actually reassemble it with the new glass. So here's the piece with the old glass. So we'll pop that out, and let's just do that together. So we see down over here there's a little notch in the plastic, and that's where the hole goes. And let's just see if we can pry that out without breaking anything. Once again, I am not a professional, so just be careful when you're doing this so you don't break anything. Okay, it looks like there's nothing in here that would prevent it from coming out. So I'm just going to go slowly and keep pushing. Okay, that side is just about out. Let me try from this angle. Try from this angle. So I'm trying different angles. I tried from here, now I'm going to try from this side over here. I don't see anything that I would bend. Maybe that. Let me just try this here. Okay, I'm just gonna, so you see over here this little curve, I'm just bending it back a little. And bend it back a little over here as well. Okay. And let's push it out gently again. So we see it kind of starting to pop out over here. Just going to give myself a little bit more wiggle room. There we go. I see it coming out. So once again, depending on how old the plastic is, on how dry it is, you know, and just be careful. So there we go. Now this part is out. So this is the outer metal part. This is the glass. So the glass is here. This is the old glass. I'll put that there. I'll take the new glass, put it in there. Oh boy. Try and keep that glass clean. So that's the new glass. And now for our next trick. So this is the notch down here where that hole is. Put that in there. Press that back in. So far so good. So now we see the glass. Now at this point you might want to clean it a little if you've touched it with your fingers or so forth. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go get a clean Kleenex and just wipe it a little. It's clean because this is your one chance to get the inside clean. The outside you can clean anytime, but the inside is the one you might want to worry about. Okay, so now that's there. This part here goes on here, like so. Okay, so that's going to go on here like that. So we'll just leave that there for now. And what we'll do, so this piece goes on there like that. As you can see, this here, there's little notches where the screws are. It fits on like this, so that's how that goes. I'll put it here. I think that's where the center of the camera is. So now we can put this, maybe before I do that, I'll give it a little cleaning. Clean that knob. I'll put this on after actually. So this is where the gear and the spring are going to go. So now, for our next, very important. So the easiest way to put this in is to actually remove this black part over here, because it'll make it easier to put the spring in. Because if we try to put it in like this, it's going to be kind of difficult to hold this and get it all lined up and everything like that. So what we'll do, so we got two screws over here. This only goes one way, so it should be okay. Oh my God, this is okay. Got our needles over here. I just want to make sure we don't have any broken needles either. Last thing you want is a broken needle that you're going to stare at all the time. One screw. Two screw. So now we have lots of wiggle room for this guy. Put that in there. Put the gear in there. Let's go this way or that way? It goes that way. Yeah. Okay, so you'll see the gear is going to slide in to join with the teeth. The spring goes in after that. And now we're ready to line it up in the hole over here. So now you see the gear, the spring goes over there, and now we can screw our plate back in. Okay, so that way we had an easier way to get that part in. Now, what did I forget to do, folks? Very important. We want to put the glass through here. So, very important step. Okay, so now we got the glass, We put it through the pin. Faceplate is back in. As you can see, this is going to look great. And now this. Oh, son of a gun, did I make another mistake? Shit, I gotta take it off one more time. Remember to put this on first. Whew. Okay. I'm doing this so you don't have to do it 10 times. Okay, spring is out. Let's take this guy out. Out, here's the gear. Put this guy back in. Like this, we'll fix it up after. In here. And now we'll put the gear on. At this point, we put the gear on 5 times, so it's not a mystery. There we go, that goes in. Spring. Spring goes in. Where's the spring? Okay, where's the spring go? The spring fell in the clock. Okay, the spring is here. The spring goes into there. And goes into there. Okay, so now we got all our pieces on finally. So now let's screw our faceplate on. Let's screw our. But wasn't that easy? So I know it's like pretty cheap piece of glass, but look at the difference. So that'll be a nice clock in the car. But it's a bit of work with the gear and this and that and pressing this back on. So I would say take your time and you know, be patient, and hopefully you'll be able to get it done. Okay, let me show you the last bit one more time. So we get the clock screwed in, we got all our, you know, components through the hole, so we're not, you know, redoing everything 100 times. The 3 bolts on the back are tightened, 1, 2, and 3. And then this part here, right, so the glass goes in here, just pushes into there, and then you slide it over here and you'll see there's a little notch there. And then really you just push it in, and I would just say, you know, don't use any tools at this point. Just gingerly go around and use your hands and just slowly squeeze it in as you go around, and you'll hear it snap, 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 and then you're done. So then this is the final product. So now you have a nice clear clock. It's the original clock. It's the actual, you know, one that was in the car with the manufacturer. The needles, the second needle is going to be the same orange as the other one. It's going to look great. If this was a failure and it didn't work for you, you couldn't get the glass out, you broke something or whatever, that other alternative is a clock, and I'll show you that, what that looks like in the car. If you can't fix the one you have, or you know, maybe it's broken beyond repair, there's broken needles on it or whatever, I'll show you what a replacement one looks like as well. So this is what a replacement would look like. Hard to see because the steering wheel's in the way. There we go. So this is a VDC, I believe is the make of it. And that's how that looks in the dash. So as you can see, it's got the hands are red and so forth. So it doesn't look exactly like the other gauges, but you know, it's not bad. And basically this is what it's going to, the original back in. I'm going to be putting this in another car. It's not going in this car, but just show you the replacement, the real one, and the bit of a difference there.
So, like most things in life, it comes down to money and time. And I just put this together just to give you some estimates, some ideas. So the replacement glass, it's about $15, but it's the time. The time you have to be able to do it, and also you have to be comfortable, using some tools and wiggling things around and not being too afraid of breaking them. So on that one, the return on investment is quite high. You get for a very small amount of money, you get a nice clock that's going to look great. An original refurbish, if you're like a stickler for originality, I have seen them. They're about 400 bucks, and you need to send the core. So that's a bit of an investment there. Now, the replacement, the one I showed in the video, there's newer ones today. That one I must have bought it 7, 8 years ago, but it looks like the price can vary quite a bit from like 120 bucks or so up to $300. But the quality, I must say, looks really good. The needles are the white needles for the time and the red needle for the second, so they really do look pretty good. But the price varies quite a bit there. The non-original, one thing is you have to remember that the lighting is going to be an LED light, so it might affect how your dimmer switch is going to work on your dashboard. So just be aware of that. And the prices, they're from Google searches and looking around, so you may find a better deal. These are just kind of a ballpark numbers, just to give you an idea of the time spent, how much money you would be saving, and how much it would cost to go with an original or a replacement. So I hope this video was helpful, and see you on the next one.